So this is the one of the process and asset management. So asset is nothing but asset in the sense asset is nothing but anything asset. So the physical asset, virtual assets, or any like if we come to the our one lands, house, flats, buildings, money, bank account. These are all comes to under the assets. When come to the company assets, these are all the different things. So when come to the one, there are two types of assets. First one is the hardware assets, and second one is the software assets. Hardware assets, when come to the hardware assets, what will come? Laptops, desktop, servers, and keyboard, mouse, monitors, routers, switches, hubs. Like these are all comes as the hardware assets. When come to the software assets, operating system and .NET, Java, or any other things like .NET, Java, or like what are the licenses, software licenses, which was purchased by the customer, which is a Office 365 or all other things. All other things is nothing but Office 365 or Outlook or other things which was purchased for the same thing. So these are all assets which will be configured by the in the service now if you maintain so that the system will easily understand. Now we can see how the assets will be there. See, this is the assets. See the consumable assets, hardware assets. So for example, if I open the all assets, these are all assets will be there. If you go to the model category, depending upon the model category, it will be the same. See, so that means this is a server, business server, computer peripheral, consumable, database, Linux, monitor, network gear, printer. These are the model categories. Nothing but different types of assets will be there. We will configure here by the model category. Now, if you go to the hardware asset or software asset, these are all one. Now, what we have to do is first, if you want to create a hardware asset, if you come to the hardware, so what are the model categories were there here right now? Server, AX server, computer hardware, computer peripheral, Linux server, network gear, printer, rack, server, storage device, Unix, and web server also. Or when go to the consumable, if you come to the consumable, I think it will come as a this one. I think. Wait. So if you come to the consumable, I think it's only one we have. Still loading. See, consumable and the monitor is the one. If you go to the license attached, that means what are the assets we have the license for the same thing. So this ITAM, this hardware asset management or software asset management will come to the product service now ITAM. If you go to the software license, or if you go to the licensing management, so what was the license? The software licenses whatever he has. So depending upon the software, we can give the software licenses he have. So if you go to the hardware asset, I'm just going to create a one hardware. So before that hardware assets, what we will kill as a asset classes. Asset class is nothing but so here what happened if you want to set up here what are here sorry hardware assets we have to set up a model category and model. Model category is nothing but which is an asset class. CMDB model category. These are all we are seeing here. These are all a model category. So right now I'm just going to create a one CMDB class. So I'm just going to copy here and here and just go to duplicate. Oh my god. So these are all the categories for it. So if I want to create a new class, so model category, I'm just model category creating as a something like keyboard, for example, keyboard. So UNSP says I've got Nation Standard Production Service Code. I'm just for this given as a 0010 something like. So parent category, if you want to add this to any parent category, we can add it. So I'm just making it the accessory. And if you want any add an icon, we can add it. CMDB class. What is a class? We can give it. I'm not giving any class. Product model. What is a product? We can give it. I'm just making as a it's a consumable product. And asset class. What are the asset? We need to add it. I'm just adding it one as a hardware asset. Pre-allocation or pre-allocation in sense when true assets of the category can be pre-allocated, so it can be allocated. Allow in handle is nothing but when true category can be components of a bundle, and allows as main assets of the category will be here. So right now I'm just these three as a true and save it. Now we have created a one consumer model category. So what we have created, what is our so keyboard. Next one, what is the model? So right now for this one there is no product models. So what I am going to do is we are just going to add a product model for the same thing here. So if I open this one, so these are the different product models. So right now I'm just going to create a one product model. I'm just here. So here these are all the different products, application, hardware, software one. So I'm just this one is the hardware model, the hardware product. Since the laptop is a hardware, sorry, sorry, keyboard is a hardware, so I'm just adding it in the hardware. So whatever we heard the manufacturer, so what was the manufacturer name, so we can give it manufacturer is nothing but it should be a one. I'm just making it as a Acer for time being. So name test for keyboard model. So here and what was the model category, so I'm just making a as a keyboard and we will give it as a keyboard and we'll add it here. And leave to category whatever, leave to category is nothing but asset tracking where we can add one. So leave to category depending upon the category we can create it one. And useful lifetime, so what is the life, I'm just making as a 24. And asset tracking unit is individual. And acquisition model, what is the how we have purchased it, either it should be a buy or a lease or both. So I'm sorry, I'm just giving as a buy model. Next one is the cost. What is the cost of it? And depreciation. Depreciation is nothing but whenever if you purchase something, you should be depreciate. Those values will be decreased. It. So I'm just making SL is 1 year and salvage value is nothing but after 2 years. What was the residual value of this one? The comments we can give it and model number. I'm just giving as a XYZ123 hyphen 2 something like, and barcode we can give as a XY something like, and who is the owner of this hardware. whoever the owner, we can add the same thing. I'm just adding as Abraham Lincoln. And status, you can see build is nothing but we are building this hardware, and in production is nothing but, so we have in the production we have using it, and retired is nothing but we are no longer to use this one, and sold is nothing but we are sell the we have selling this one. Right now I'm just making enter, and expenditure capex or opex, it will comes in the financial one. So what is the one? So certified if I want to show it, and now we can view it. Now if you are all the details, I just try to create a save. So now what happened, we have created a one, what you call hardware asset, sorry, hardware model, product model. In that one, if you want to, we can create a C inform, this is the one information, how many powers it will use, height, flow rate, sounds, weight, expenditure, lifetime, COTU. These are all things will. Next one, compatibles. If you want any compatible, you can add here. Right now, no. Substitutes, if any, we can add it. Configuration item, we can add it. And product catalog, if any catalog item we are using for this one, we can add it. So this is the basic thing how we have created. Now, next one, if you want to create an asset here, I'm just going to create a hardware asset with this is metal category. So what are the model category we are giving here? The keyboard, right? We can give the keyboard here. So asset tag. So that means from here, what happened? We have created a model. Sorry, mom, that model category. From that, we are creating a new category. So I'm just making asset tag. So asset tag is a very important. So it is Z00, this one. So asset tag is nothing but whenever if you assign a something, there is some tag will be there, so that we will configure the same here. So which means so whatever the tag we have created, so this asset tag is a very important for when to the sorry, asset tag is a very important when it's a unique id, we have to do the combination. If you want to, we can configure a number also. Right now we are not doing. So in order is nothing but we are ordering this one, and in stock is nothing but it is in processing. In transit is nothing but from in the it was in the transition, and in use is nothing but it was already assigned to somebody. In maintenance is nothing but so it was in the under maintenance it was what you called one. It retired is nothing but it was retired. Missing is nothing but it was missed something. Build is nothing but we are working on it. I'm just making one. And if was, if you want to, we can assign to this anyone. That means this asset is assigned to which user. I'm just making this one idle and managed by. That means this asset is managed by whom. So so this one, this is the happen here. We can add the one, and now owned by what is the parent. That means what is the parent asset of this one. So if you want any asset parent, we can add it. Right now, I'm just adding this model category as a keyboard. This is a very big topic when come to the asset management, and this is a very confusing. What is this? Maybe it's not showing. What are we going to get? It class is hardware. And next one, what is the serial number for this one? We can give the serial number and asset function. It will be primary, secondary, or shared it. That is the primary hardware or secondary hardware, which is the shared one. We can see it, and it was assigned to when, and it was even it was installed. It. This is the basic thing. And next one, financial request line is nothing but what was the requesting RAT number. We can configure the same thing here. And next one, invoice number, what is the invoice and what is the cost, and who is the vendor for this, we can add the same thing here. And when it was opened it, next one is the GL is nothing but general ledger number. Next one, what is a cost center. So whenever if you purchase, give somebody is assigned a laptop or something to in your company, so next one is a acquisition method, which is a purchase, lease, rental, or loan. So purchase, lease, rental, or loan. So how we can win? Next one is a expenditure type, capex or opex. This is the financial terms. You don't need to worry it. Next one, disposal. What is the disposal reason? Who is the beneficiary for it? If you're reselling it, what is the one? And scheduled retirement, when you are going to retirement, and retirement date. And next one, depreciation. So every product, if you purchase something, the depreciation of the product will be reduced. That means the cost of the will be reduced. So what is this depreciation? We should be a how many years it was. SLDDB 4 years, SL1. These are all the things we can use the same thing. Next one, depreciation effective date. When we want to depreciation has to start it. So always value is nothing but when you go to the depreciation, it'll be the same thing. But right now we are not adding. Next one is a contract. What is a lease contract? When this warranty is going to expire it. And support group and supported by. So that means if any issues will comes this one, which group will be supported, and if any particular user you want to also, we can give the same thing here. And next one, entitlements is nothing but if you have any entitlement for this one, we can add the same thing. And if you go to the activities, it will same it. So now what I am going to do is I'm just going to save this record. See, whenever I again the display name come to the asset tag, and this model is the combination. That means, so the display name it was showing as a asset tag and hyphen the model name combination, it was showing the same thing. So like that we can create a, so and also here what happened, ALM underscore hardware. So in this one we have created a class is already as this one keyboard class is already created. So if I open this one keyboard, see CMDB underscore model category, in that one whatever we are created, this one as a what you can say asset class. This is the ALM underscore asset class is the parent class for this model category. So like that whatever we required we can configure. If you go to the product models, this one, if you want to create asset is nothing but if you want to create a multiple assets with the same thing. So I'm just going to create assets, click on it. So this one, it will automatically trigger to this one, and whatever we want to, we can see the same thing. Whatever, sorry, we already created, it will show the same thing. And here you can see the expense lines. Whenever if you created, this expense line will be configured automatically. So if you configure automatically, it will be the same thing here. So this is the expected and due hardware source ID automatically generated. What is asset? Fixed asset. Who is the user? And the state is processed or pending. Submission type: grow business or run business. I transform business, and this is the things. And also, whatever we are seeing this asset classes, hardware class, something. These are all the come to the asset management. Also will come to the CMDB. CMDB is nothing but configuration management database. Configuration management database is nothing but, so whatever we are configuring here, so all the config like system classes, assets, and the CMDB classes configuration item, these are all comes under the CMDB. And for this one, the base table of the CMDB is a CMDB underscore CI. This is the one of the most common asked interview question. What is the base table for the configuration items for the CMDB? So CMDB underscore CI, and the service node total, there are two base tables, which is a CMDB underscore CI and the task table. These two are the base table. Here we can like this is the two base tables where we can carry the same thing, and the model category and models we can configure it. Now we can see how we can create a, right now we have seen how create a one hardware class. Now if I am going to the licensed assets is nothing but a software asset. So I'm just going to the what we can say product catalog, right? Product model. So here I'm just going to create a new product model, which is a software model. So for the software, what is the manufacturer name? The same thing, but here you can see the model category by default was come as a software license and software. If you come from this, so if you go to the manufacturer, I'm just making it as a 3com short description O365. So what is the model number and acquisition? Yeah, these are all the same thing, and license is fine. And what is the version, what is a major minor build software category, and single or multiple licenses. Maximum socket count is nothing but how many CPU sockets for this one. What is this license type, like which is a commercial or is a personal, we can do it. And activation state, it is activated, ISO ID, ISO serial number. And what is this application model? Right now it was not there. And minimum or how many rights we have, that means how many licenses we have, minimum users and maximum users we can give it. And next one, upgrade. So how many times we have upgrade this one we can do it. And downgrade, how we can do it. If we come to the license, how many licenses we have configured for the user. And what is the product catalog for the same thing. So this is the one. So I'm just making description O365. So I'm just making version is one something like the model number, like this one we can give it barcode. And owner, what is the next version? Right now we have not any version we have given. So if any next version in the software models we can give it and save this for the same here. So here this is the base thing. Now if you click on this publish to service catalog software catalog, what it will happen is it will go to the, and if I click on this publish to catalog, so it will go to the category. And if I am going to the, for example, software, I'm just going to copy. So it will go to the, let's see how it will create it one. So here I'm just, if I'm going to the service catalog, self service service catalog, and there is a software. This is the Office 365 which we have created, right? So it will be the same. If you click on software, order now, it will go to the one. So that means it will create as a catalog item. From that, we can create the same thing for it. Like that, we can convert all our items as a software catalog items. So, oh, sorry, this is the one software catalog model. Like that, we can create a all the one. So, if you go to here, show product license, show software product life cycle is nothing but, so it will be the what was the version, full version, life cycle internal r one public or is a pre-result. So, what is the life cycle phase? Right now, in which phase we are it? So, general availability, that pre-release is nothing but if you see here specify the software. That means still we are in the pre-release. If you go to the service now, Utahu, so that is the next version which is in the pre-release. And if you go to the general availability, so in the service now what we have to do is so they were work by the n plus 2 only. Right now the latest one is a Tokyo. They can support till Tokyo. Before that San Diego. Before that I think Rome. Still they can support for the Rome version only. If any version is prior to Rome, which is a Paris or Orlando, service now will not provide the support for it. This is the general availability. And if you go to the upgrade is nothing but if a new version is released, we have to upgrade to the ServiceNow instance. And next one, if you go to the end of support is nothing but you can see. So prior to rope, so all the end of support is good. And extended support is nothing but we can provide the support for the same thing here. And next one, end of life. So before the Paris, all the ServiceNow instance support has been life cycle has been ended, and they need to upgrade the version for the same. So and what is the edition? That edition is nothing but what is the version. If it is a software service now, we can give it like a different versions, right? Like Aspirin, Berlin, Calgary, Dublin, Eureka, Fuzzy, Geneva, Helsinki. All we can do it. And what was the phase we can do it. And risk very high, high, moderate, low, none. These are all will give it. And if it is active, we can give it. And I'm just making the phases here. So this is the one how we can create a further one. If I open our instance, see this is the life cycle one. If you want any vendor catalog item, we can create it. Right now I'm not creating any vendor catalog item. So like this, we can create a assets for the same thing. So that means assets we can create it. We can able to check the stocks here. So this is the assets where we can. So like that, if you go to the all assets, whatever we have configured, we can configure. We can configure the all the hardware assets. If you go to the hardware assets, depending upon the model category, we can create a model category, which is a type of it. It's a CMDB underscore category underscore list table. So in that one, what we can do is we can create a new model. From that, we can create a asset. If you are already existing in the system, we can utilize the same as it is. As it is nothing but how we can configure the same thing. This asset management is a very very big topic, and also very very sensitive topic. Sensitive topic is nothing but how we can configure the these are all for the same. That means how we can configure the same thing here for how we can configure the these versions or all the sorry this hardware we can give it. Depending upon the model category we can give it. It should be a consumer, it should be a computer, it should be a hardware, or it should be a something different. So if you want, you can go to the model category. So if you go to the model category in the product catalog, we can create a one. So if you have, for example, I create a new one which is a mouse, or I'm just going to configuring a server like AWS server, for example. If I am going to add a server, So what was the parent category, we can give it. So if you want to, we can give as a software. We can use a software. And what is the CA class? What are the class we have to create? We can give it. And product model, we can give it. What is the asset class? So it will belong to which type of asset class. I'm just making a software license. So it will create as a software licenses allow in bundle. See earlier, whenever if you are creating a hardware asset, so it will showing as a alloy is a pre-allocated and alloy as a main. So right now it was marked as a true as a read only, and also as a false, and it is a we cannot update the option, only the hardware things where we can add the same thing. See right now, and if you want any product model, so we can add a product model into the system, which is a software model. So now what happened, we have configured as a asset model, sorry, AWS model. If you're creating any new class, so if I open, yep, this is the one, AWS server. So if you are creating any new asset, it will be the same thing for it. So if I open a new asset, we can configure anyone. If you create a new one, so I'm just creating as a license. This is a software model, and what was the model we have to configure? So whatever model we have configured. So I'm just model category. I'm just giving as a model category if any AWS. I think that is not, we have not created any model for the software licenses. So if you want to, we can configure to anyone. I'm just making software licenses. Uh, Bridge 6 and asset like this F245, and I'm just going to save this. If I give this one the asset number hyphen the model what we have configured, so it will be automatically goes to the model category. And also whenever we are seeing, these are all things one, and also we will load the ServiceNow system of the assets data mostly by using the import set, by using the Excel sheet, or else we will integrate with the this one with the any other third party tool like SSCM or any other things, we can update the same thing. So whenever whatever we are doing the integration or something, that whenever we are data insert, so what was the field was coming from there, and what was the field is coming to is this one, it is a mandatory for the same thing here. So how this is how the functionality will work for the same. So this is the basic scenarios how the software we can create a assets and all things. And this is a very big topic, the asset management, when come to the one, and is a very, and you have seen it how to create a model category and how to create a model classes, sorry, classes for the same thing, how to we can create a product model on this one. So these are basic things you can what you can say, you can explore on this. These are all topics. Any queries till now what we have discussed? So, Soma, you have any questions? So this is the basic. If you want to see assets, just create a many model categories which you already know, right? Routers and switches on the hardware, and also we have seen here license assets. So what we are going to do is, so here we have seen the what we can say this assess. Okay, I forgot to tell. So here the asset license entitlement is nothing but what was the assets we have the division. But if you go to the user license entitlements, how many licenses, what are the licenses we have assigned to the user? That means if you open the display name, oh my god, it was not showing. So if I open this was license purchase it. So this is the same one product. So it was assigned to the 214 persons. That means we have the 214 licenses for the same thing. If I open this 66 SW software double 66, what it was happened is it was the same thing here. So or if you open or any other thing, so this is the basic thing. So if you go to the license calculation, so it will automatically calculate the what are the table we need to calculate the same thing. So if I move the commercial, so I'm sorry, what was the field we need to calculate? If I am going to the by user, by number of users, and licensing field, what was the licensing field here we have given as a rights in the system. Whenever if you are creating also we can do it. Next one asset to CA mapping. So if you want configure a CA is nothing but configuration item. Whenever if you are creating a configuration item field, so what was the fields from for example if you're creating a asset to CA, what was the field we have to configure same thing. It's just like a source to target mabel in the date loaded it, but it is a we have to check each and every for the same here. And this is the asset to CA. This is a different topic I can cover in the next classes, which is in the CMDB topic. Okay. So this is the class for today. Anyone has any questions till now? Already discussed. Okay, very good. Thank you. I think you guys can check today how create a multiple task, consumable products, hardware licenses, software things which you already know in the daily life. You can create those are all here as a classes, and you can load a few what you call assets data in the system. Okay. Thank you. Any